So I had anxiety, probably it started in sort of my second year of university. I was very unhappy in my first year, so I think, to be honest, I probably just didn't let myself feel any of it. I was just in survival mode at the time. And then got it in my second year of university, went to the doctors, and the first thing the doctor recommended was that I go on beta blockers, which I vividly remember thinking at the time my granddad was on, and I really didn't want to be on those myself. It didn't seem the right medication for me at all, but he felt that I needed to slow my heart rate down, and that was the root of my problems rather than anything psychological. I obviously did not want that solution. I asked him to give me a test for quite a few things because I felt tired and a bit sick and things like that, so I was a bit worried that it might be some sort of iron deficiency, but everything came back fine. So in the end I asked for counselling. The first session I went to of that was horrible, actually. I think it was just because I probably didn't get on with the counsellor very well that I didn't get much out of it. She seemed to pull up issues that I didn't think were there at all, that were issues I had, but she wanted to highlight them, and I left the session feeling a lot worse than I did when I went in. So I asked to see another counsellor. She was much better. We went through sort of a series of CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy. I was offered that, or an alternative was to have group therapy, but at the time I think because it was so raw I didn't really want to speak to a large group of people about my experiences, so for me it was much better to have the CBT. I had that, I think, for about 6 to 10 weeks. Then did start to feel a lot better, but after having a few sessions and I progressed in what I was thinking, I think I probably came to realise that it was the root, and the issue was that I was very homesick and just hadn't allowed myself to feel that at all, because in my view I was at university, I was on my own, and why should I need anybody else? I shouldn't be allowed to go back home. I should be on my own now and be able to deal with everything myself, which of course I now think was ridiculous, but at the time you kind of just want to survive on your own, I think. I want to prove to everyone that you can. So CBT really helped, and then for me I eventually came home and sort of for my third year went to uni on and off and stayed with friends and then came back home. I was much happier that way, but I think I did get better after sort of a couple of years with it, of just relaxing and doing things that made me a bit happier. But I think the thing I really picked up from it, aside from not pushing yourself too much and allowing yourself to be happy and not stressed, is that I think everybody needs a different type of therapy. There's no one size fits all answer. I think bespoke therapy is a lot more important, really. For me, drugs weren't the way I wanted to go. They never were. I hated the idea of putting something into my body, but that's not to say that it wouldn't work for other people. I'd never tell someone they shouldn't have any drugs, but I think it's just very important that everybody finds their own solution. I think with the NHS that can sometimes be difficult because there is that pressure to be pushed into one particular answer to help the statistics, but for me it wasn't the way, and I think it's different for everybody every time.